Hey y'all, so I am back on YouTube and I decided that the first video I wanted to share with you guys is how I made my cabbage soup and just show you what I did, and hopefully it will help someone who may be considering doing cabbage soup. I know that this is old news, but it's been wow, like over 10 years since I had ever did cabbage soup. And I did mine a little bit differently this time. So let me just get into what you're looking at here. So the first thing I did was I prepped all my vegetables the night before and just put it in Ziploc bags. So that is green bell pepper, celery, and carrots that I prepped in the Ziploc bag, and I just added a little bit of olive oil. I also think that there's onions as well. Don't let me get the lion. Okay, so then we have some minced garlic, and then I used chicken bouillon, and that is a tablespoon of each of those ingredients, and then just stir it up. And basically what I'm trying to do is just allow the vegetables to soften just a bit. Of course, don't want them to be mushy, but just want them to sweat a little bit and take out the crunch. So I like to just add my seasonings like straight in. I don't typically measure things out. I just like to cook with my eyeballs. So that is a sea salt grinder. So grinding in a little bit of sea salt. And next is some black pepper. So I am just going to go ahead and add that in as well. And again, there are so many recipes out there, but I did this and it actually helped me to lose 11 pounds in 5 days. I did it on a Monday through Friday. I ate the soup twice a day, and it worked for me. So that is the Badia complete seasoning. Got those nice little seasoning jars off of Amazon. So I got my seasoning life together, so everything looks really well. That is the Cajun seasoning, which is the Tony Chacheres Cajun seasoning, because I like a little bit of spice in my life, and I do not like for food to be boring. Even though I prepared this because the goal is to lose some weight, it does not have to be nasty, honey. It can still be good and delicious. So yeah, just again, going ahead and whipping all that together and just letting it all sweat. Now I'm going to add some diced tomatoes, and I did not use diced tomatoes back in the day when I made the soup before. So that is, I believe that's a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And they have different flavors of diced tomatoes, so I'm like, feel free to use whatever you want to, but because I knew I was going to be seasoning mine up, I just got the regular. So adding in some chicken broth, and that is like a 48-ounce carton of chicken broth. So I'm adding that in now, and I want to say that I added about 1.5 cups of the chicken broth, and now just mixing it all together. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the cabbage. I use 1 full head of cabbage for this. And so what I'm adding in right now is just maybe half of that bag of cabbage, and then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of allow it to melt on in with the other ingredients, and then just folding it in. You got to fold it over, you got to fold it over, you got to whip that wrist. You see how that wrist is whipping, honey? You got to whip that wrist, okay? And if y'all hear some noise in the background, it is my raggedy old fan over there that I will be getting rid of for this spring and summertime, because it sounds like a diesel truck. So please excuse that noise. But as you can see, I'm just whipping it all in. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some more chicken broth. And I'm basically adding in about another cup or so. And we're going to go ahead and again, we're going to stir and fold, stir and fold, stir and fold. Yes, honey, whip that wrist. You want it all to be incorporated well. So now we are going to add the remaining cabbage into the pot. And we just want to get all of that in there. Yes, don't leave a crumb, honey. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and get back in there with our folding and stirring, because we want everything to be incorporated together very well. You don't want any parts of the soup where it's just like a bunch of cabbage and you're not getting like all the vegetables in there. So that's why it's critical to make sure that you're really folding and stirring to incorporate everything. That is what I learned, when I was making a soup, is that I just want everything to be mixed in very well together. And so now I'm going to go back in for some more seasoning, right? The good thing about eyeballing your seasoning is you can season to taste, right? So you don't just have to go in and say, oh, I'm going to use a teaspoon of complete seasoning, a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning and all of that. You just kind of eyeball it and taste it, as you go along so that you get the desired taste that you want. Because sometimes when you measure out things precisely, you can over season something, and that is really hard to reverse when you over season a dish. So I just kind of like to do it like this, and then taste as I go along. That has never failed me, so I am just sticking with what I know how to do, okay? Because, cooking is fun, so it's no rules, in my opinion, to how things can be done. Everyone does things differently, but I decided to do this soup because I've always been into my fitness and everything like that, but I really needed like a kickstart for me. I really needed it was more so like a detox, if you will, before I got into doing my workout routine again. I wanted to see if I could just shed some pounds before I went into that. So I'm adding some more chicken broth here. I did not use that entire carton, but I'm adding about another cup or so of the chicken broth, and I did still have a little bit left over. But like I was saying, getting back into the routine, and I did this Monday through Friday. I had the soup. Interestingly enough, I would have my tea in the morning. I always drink tea every morning. I had the soup for lunch and dinner, and I did that for 5 days, and I lost 11 pounds. The soup is delicious. Make it to your desired taste. Again, there is no rules to this, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you try it out. Comment below. Let me know if you did or what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching.